who is your garbage person of the entire year?
My garbage person of the year is in this clip with Tucker Carlson, but against all odds, it isn't Tucker Carlson. Take a look.
So they're saying there is a 17-year-old girl, 17-year-old woman who
We should have seen it coming. And unfortunately, a 17-year-old had to watch Matt Gaetz coming. All right, everybody, garbage person of the year. Your fault, John. You invited me onto this segment. Is Matthew Elizabeth Gaetz, the former congressperson from the 1st District of Florida, and no more. So this guy, he originally came into the Congress to drain the swamp, which he is from. Take a look at the guy. And he was always doing this weird Trump impression and trying to wheel and deal and weasel his way through everything. But his time in Congress, thankfully, before year's end, or pretty soon, is going to be over. He is resigning his position. The special election is mid-January for replacing him. But let me tell you a little bit about Matt Gaetz. He was nominated for attorney general to, get rid of corruption ostensibly, even though his first experience with corruption in politics was engaging in it. As the story goes, his party boss dad got him out of DUIs because he was a big wig in the 1st District. So it's already from the get-go a complete facade. And then in that nomination, I just want to give you a flavor of the taste of what people from all over the right-wing spectrum said about this nomination.
When Susie Wiles took the job, you heard she says, one thing I'd said is I don't want to see any the clown car. I always thought Matt Gaetz was in the clown car. So I'm surprised he'd be part of the starting lineup.
I thought it was the worst cabinet level appointment in history until they then heard about the Matt Gaetz appointment.
I think it is a horrible, creepy choice. I have no idea why he did it. The others are, controversial, but I think ultimately eminently defensible. When I heard that Matt Gaetz was picked to be Attorney General, I threw up in my mouth.
Look at who you saw. You saw everybody from the weird couch in Fox and Friends to John Bolton, the neocon, to like former smutty morning talk show, daytime talk show hosts of my childhood, Geraldo Rivera, also all saying that he made them sick to their stomachs. So he was nominated. Then, as this graphic indicates, he was withdrawn from the attorney general nomination. He stepped down. Why? Because the ethics committee had a report that they had done, and he sued in a last minute bid to block the release of that report. What he did was so horrible. And then the House ethics report found evidence that Matt Gaetz paid thousands for sex and drugs, including paying a 17-year-old for sex in 2017. These are the findings I am telling you about from the ethics report that eventually got leaked, because of course it did. And Matt Gaetz and the stuff that he represents, that is contradictory to what people would say he would represent, to drain the swamp, to do all this stuff. No, he is a horrible, horrible person who ends up where they all end up after this, in news, doing basically the exact same thing he was doing before. Maybe he's not a lobbyist, that's the other path people go down, but he already talked trash about lobbyists, and he is gonna use his platform on OAN, as Ron Filipkowski points out. I see Matt Gaetz went in to ask for the Wayne Newton face before his OAN debut. And just for visual reference, here they are side by side. We did pay for that,
I'd go with Wayne.
But yeah, it is insane. Like that is, he looks absolutely disgusting. And it's almost poetic how the version of disgusting he looks is reflective of who he seems to be as a person. He also does look like these are the spitting image
Reagan?
people of Reagan with my hairline.
Oh my God.
But yeah, Matt Gaetz, my garbage person of the year.
Well, very, very well chosen, well told. Is that like a standard, the face filter? Like, just give me the Vigo the Carpathian or whatever.
I also do think he looks like, maybe not Ray as Vigo. He kind of looks like Ray as Vigo, but he also looks like Ray in like Nothing But Trouble.
Oh geez, I haven't seen that in a while. Anyway, yeah, I think it's a good look. He's not my choice, but I think it's a pretty good choice in that, like, being garbage person of the year isn't who's the literal worst person that's done the most literal. That's not what it is. It's just about being like what are we doing? Like, we have to see you, we have to hear from you. It's garbage. It's gross. The entire thing makes you feel gross for existing on the planet with that person.
He wanted to stay in Congress, but they did an ethics report about him. So it seems like he, in my analysis, angled to get this nomination so he could resign from Congress and try to block the House ethics report from coming out and make his way elsewhere in government. But when it was clear that wasn't gonna work because he was such trash that everybody he tore apart on the way was gonna make him pay for his sins, many of which he didn't like, are all different kinds of sins. It all backfired, and he ended up. He is exactly they are who we thought they were, just slinging nonsense with the likes of Steve Bannon on some off-brand Fox News.
Yeah, and by the way, he could end up getting nominated for something, or he run for Senate and win, or run for governor and win, or whatever. Like, because it's all just the same thing. It's like you're in Congress, or you do a podcast, or you're a senator, or you're on Fox News. It's like there's no real distinction between any of those things, and the people they try to appeal to don't care for there to be any distinction.
Right.
It's all just feeding the victimhood complex and identity politics and all that gross.
They just want to be a-holes. That's the problem.
Because it's incentivized.
I wish everybody would just show up and be like, yo, actually, we don't want any of the stuff we're saying because we have positions that contradict each other. We're just tired of people pointing out when we're a-holes. So we're just going to band together in a weird, horrible Red Rover chain and just be assholes.
Yeah.
That's it. And there's enough of them to just be assholes again. And we had shamed assholes out of being assholes. Sorry,
I think there's still language requirements. But anyway, yes, it sucks when your country financially incentivizes being a garbage person. But that's what happened. When you click the join button and become a tier 2 member, you get access to all of our weekly top 10 lists. What are you waiting for?